do not join NEXA Lending. From what I've seen, their rates, it's crazy. You're never gonna win any clients. Their comps, it's ridiculously low because there's so much fees and splits. You're never gonna make any money. And then as far as support, basically non-existent for loan officers, because guess what? None of their loan officers produce. All they do is recruit. And from what I heard, their CEO, he's a little crazy. Those are just some of the things that you might see out there about NEXA Lending if you're doing your research, trying to pick a mortgage brokerage to join. If you're brand new licensed in the business, or you have been in the business a while and you're just looking for a new place to call home. So in this video, I mean, if you're here with an open mind, check it out so that you can actually get an honest opinion, an honest review from a loan officer who is actually with NEXA Lending, not somebody who just heard things or saw from another friend that was there or whatever, right? So I'm going to share with you everything that I've experienced, the good, the bad, the ugly at my time at NEXA Lending. And I'm still here. And it's been about, I would say, 1.5 years since I've been with NEXA. And just to give you some context, I have been a realtor for 8 years. And so I am currently with eXp Realty. About 1.5 years ago, I decided to get my MLO license. And when I was deciding where I should go, NEXA Lending made the most sense to me. Before I even got my LO license, I was already a top producing real estate agent. So I'm an icon agent at eXp. The only reason why I even went and got my MLO license was so that I can level up my business, right? So I can offer my clients even more value. Now I'm a one-stop shop, right? When I got my license, the biggest question for me was that when I was joining a mortgage brokerage, I wanted to join a brokerage that was going to be able to help me to not only teach me the business, but to help support me to become a top producing loan officer eventually. And so, of course, when you are one of the nation's biggest mortgage brokerages and you're doing things right, of course, you are going to acquire some haters along the way, right? So there will be a lot of negativity, negative reviews, right? Disgruntled loan officers who join NEXA and it didn't work out for them. So they're going to leave negative reviews and they're going to make it known. But the purpose of this video is that, hey, depending on you, right? It depends on you. I mean, it doesn't matter what you heard from your brother, your sister, your mother, whatever, right? It's going to depend on what you put into the business, what you actually plug in, right? Are you actually plugging into what the company has to offer? If you are and you're not getting anything out of it, okay, that's one thing, right? But if you've never plugged in and you're not taking advantage of what the company has to offer, then really it's on you at the end of the day. We all know that. All of us in the business, it's not the brokerage guys. It's not. It's really down to the individual. So that's at least how I feel about it. And this is my honest review on how my experience at NEXA has been. All right, so let's start with the support, the training, right? Because that was really the biggest piece for me. And what does NEXA Lending offer brand new LOs? Well, number one, a lot of places in this business, they do not even take brand new LOs. For all the haters out there to talk smack, right, about NEXA and all these other places, you do have to realize that you need experience at a lot of these places before they even want you, right? And NEXA is one of the few places that will take the risk and they will take on brand new licensed LOs, right? And so at NEXA, if you're brand new, you have the option to join the university. The university is where you will get a dedicated coach that will help hold your hand from start to finish on a loan. And actually you have to finish 6 loans to graduate out of the university, right? And of course, it comes down to, like I said again, are you gonna plug in? Are you gonna take advantage of your coach? Are you gonna check in? If you're not using them to their full capabilities, the access, right? It's not gonna help you, right? Now, I do have other loan officers that joined me at NEXA, right? My recruits, and they also went through the university. And some of their coaches weren't as good as mine. And so shout out to my coach, Michelle Lee. If you get her, you are in for a treat. It's really good. For me, it was a great experience. I did enjoy my university experience. I loved it. You know, the ability to go into her Zoom room whenever I needed help and just get that one-on-one support, right? And so I really did learn a lot from the university that NEXA had to offer. And I do contribute my success as a loan officer in the beginning to the university program. So the support for me at NEXA, it's been really good. I have never felt like I was, hanging out to dry. There's always been somebody that has been able to help me out, right? And then as far as the technology goes, I mean, NEXA is based on technology, right? So we have loan officer support. That's been really good. I love the ability to go into loan officer support, and then you do a scenario request. So essentially, scenario request, you just kind of like create a post. Hey, I have this type of buyer. He's looking for an 8-unit apartment. Which lender is the best out there for that type of loan? And so what happens is this gets put up. It's kind of like a message board. It goes out to all of the lenders, so all the AEs can see it. And then not only the AEs, but also other Nexans. Other loan officers can see it as well, and everybody can chime in and comment. And so sometimes, of course, you do get the random scenarios where nobody comments because it's super weird and random, but sometimes you do get 1 or 2 at least lenders that say, hey, I think we can do it. Send me a message. On the technology side as well, NEXA is currently rolling out Beverly, their AI loan application processing system, where our customers can go onto a portal, and basically it's AI driven. And so as soon as they put in their information, AI is going to do like a soft pull. It's going to calculate their income. So really it's going to help to almost get you fully pre-approved, right? Of course, you as a loan officer, you're still going to have the final review and sign off before you actually issue the pre-approval to your client. Okay, so in terms of support, I mean, I really don't have too many gripes about the support that I've received at NEXA so far. At my time here, everything's been really good. Honestly, even sometimes I've texted Mike Cordes, the CEO, and he does respond. I have his cell phone. And so that's pretty cool. They did start hiring a bunch of C-suite level managers as well, which is great because now we have more support there as well. And so moving on to the next most important topic that a lot of loan officers love to talk about, compensation. What's the payout look like at NEXA? So you might have heard NEXA's CEO, Mike Cordes, saying NEXA pays the most. And he's technically right, if your loan qualifies for NEXA 100. If you're not familiar with NEXA 100, the way I would kind of relate it to is that normally the normal compensation at NEXA is that you make a gross margin, right, for a loan. So let's just call it 275 bips is the gross margin that you're going to charge or you're going to earn on a loan. Now, if your loan doesn't qualify for NEXA 100, what normally happens is NEXA gets a split of that 275. They're going to take 55 bips. Okay. So they're going to keep 55 bips to keep the lights on at NEXA or whatever, right? You're going to get 220, which is the remainder. So you will get to keep 220 bips for you. But if your loan did qualify for NEXA 100, those 55 bips that NEXA would have taken actually comes back to you. So as the LO, you would get that back to you into a separate pot. So not directly to you in your paycheck, but it will go to a separate pool called your growth and marketing ledger. Now, in this growth and marketing ledger, you would have this money just sitting there accumulating, right? So you could use that pot to do things like, pay for any kind of marketing, pay for a CRM, any tools, any travel related to your business, right? If you're going for trainings, conferences, hotels, flights, things like that. As far as NEXA 100 goes, it is legit, right? But you do have to follow the rules. Your loans has to meet the requirements. And currently, there are 4 lenders at NEXA that are NEXA 100 approved. Those would be UWM, Finance of America, Penny Mac, and Deep Haven. Used to have a little bit more, but a few people got taken off the list. And then, of course, they always add more too as well. But essentially, to qualify for NEXA 100, it has to be one of those lenders and then, for that loan, right? And then you also have to meet certain requirements. So when you join NEXA, your first 6 months, you get NEXA 100 automatically. All your loans, they qualify for NEXA 100 as long as you're using those 4 lenders, right? Now, after the 6 months, to make sure that your loans qualify for NEXA 100, another way to get NEXA 100 is to make sure that one person in your recruit, in your downline, right, they close a loan, right? If they close a loan, then your loan qualifies for NEXA 100 as long as you, again, use one of those 4 lenders. So that's another way for you to normally qualify. Another way to qualify is that you meet certain performance thresholds. So I believe the number now is $2 million in loan volume for the month. So if you broker $2 million in loans for that month, any loans over that $2 million mark, you would earn NEXA 100 on, right? As long as, again, those loans are with the NEXA 100 lenders, right? So that's kind of the rules and how it works for NEXA 100. I think there are some other perks, like if you bring out LOs to certain events, the recruiting events that they do at UWM, then for that month, you would qualify for NEXA 100 automatically. So that's pretty much how NEXA 100 works. It is true, it is accurate that NEXA does pay the most, but you have to qualify for NEXA 100. So how has my experience been as a dual licensed professional so far? I think that part has been absolutely great. It's definitely been super beneficial. Being licensed in both, it's a no-brainer, guys. If you're out there, you're a loan officer or you're a realtor, right? Just get both. I mean, all the companies are doing it already. You just got to follow the money, guys. If they're doing it and you're not doing it, you are missing out. And so for me, it's been phenomenal. The ability to offer my investor clients DSCR refis on things like they couldn't do, like maybe their flip failed, right? We couldn't sell it because the market tanked, right? All of a sudden, days on market are racking up. They're like, my hard money loan is coming due. Let's just do a refi. Can you help me do that? And I could, right? I refied them. Now I gave them that refi. Now they're keeping the property and now they're ready to go buy more. So, all right, let's get back in the game. And then also HELOCs, the ability to give HELOCs, that's been amazing to help people with that. And HELOCs are truly very little effort on our part of loan officers. So we get compensated pretty good for that, right? For basically sending out a link. And something super powerful that NEXA rolled out is the BDM program, the business development marketer role, which anybody, even realtors, can become part-time W-2 employees of NEXA. Of course, when you're both the realtor and the loan officer on a transaction, I mean, you really are earning the most that you can out of that one transaction. So yeah, that ability is fantastic, of course. Something surprisingly that I've ran into when listing agents find out, right, that I'm both in the same deal. I had one listing agent say, "What? You can do that? That's super cool." And then she went as far as like, "Wow, I just had a buyer consultation with a buyer. I really wish I had my LO license so that I could do that too." And I've ran into other realtors that were like, wow, I should really look into this because I am getting tired and burned out of driving buyers around myself. And so it is something really cool that you can do. And the feedback so far from other agents, it's been really good, actually. Feedback from other lenders, now that's a little bit different. A lot of my go-to lenders that I had back in the day when I was a full-time agent only, the cool ones, you know, and obviously we, even as a lender, I mean, you're not going to get all the business, right? It's just the facts. Not all your clients are going to use you to be both, and you can't force them to. So you just have to offer it up. Hey, I could be both for you, but they don't have to use you for both. And so the lenders that, you know, that I have good relationships with, some of them were like really open, like, hey man, if you got questions about the lending business, you know, let me know, right? I'd love to be a resource for you as well. And of course, we're still going to continue to do deals because I'm not going to offer every single type of loan out there. And so I still rely on a lot of my existing loan officer relationships, and I still send them business from time to time. Now, some of them were really put off by it when I told them I went and got my license. And so again, if that's the type of response you get, you probably shouldn't have been doing business with that person in the first place, right? If that's the kind of reaction that they have, where they look at you as a competition now. And then as far as like buyers go, I mean, the buyers that I have helped where I was the loan officer and the agent, the feedback's been phenomenal. I mean, they love it, right? They love it when they only need to talk to one person. You're the one point of contact. You know everything. You don't have to go, oh, hey, hold on, let me go talk to the loan officer, right? Because you are the loan officer. Everything goes through more smoothly, especially communication with the listing agent. Now I know like everything going on, right? I can update them, not just on the how the transaction's going, but how the loan side is going, right? Where are we at with appraisals, right? All that stuff. So it makes everything super smooth. I don't think it's really an issue. I think it's really more of a benefit. Other things about the company that loan officers should be aware of is that NEXA is licensed currently in 48 states. The only two that are missing right now is New York and Massachusetts because of their very strict licensing process, which the last update we heard is that New York should be coming in very soon, and Massachusetts as well. So we are going to be up to 50. We are also in Puerto Rico. I think there are some ways to do loans in Mexico as well. Some other things that you should know is that, of course, if you're new to the industry, you may not know, but certain states require you to be a W-2. Whereas other states, you're okay with being a 1099, right? So if you go W-2, you have to be W-2 all across. If you go 1099, you got to be 1099 all across. Although supposedly there is supposed to be some kind of workaround coming soon where you can be W-2 in one state, 1099 in another state. I've yet to see it myself, but we'll see if that comes true. Supposedly there is a way to do it in the NMLS, and it's more of an NMLS issue than a brokerage issue. So other perks for being part of one of the biggest brokerages in the country is that we do get price breaks on credit reports. We get some favorable pricing because, especially if you've been pulling credit reports for your clients, you understand that prices have skyrocketed recently. And then also we get free memberships to places like AIM. Last year we got free CE credit for all loan officers at NEXA through one of our credit companies. And so that's really cool, especially if you are licensed in multiple states. Can save you quite a nice big chunk of change there. All right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room whenever NEXA is mentioned, that, hey, NEXA is nothing but a bunch of recruiters. Well, I mean, I think quite honestly, the people who automatically say that, they truly don't even understand how the business works. If you are in the industry, you do realize that you are being recruited to join a company, right? You are joining them for a reason. Somebody is talking to you. And so for loan officers in the industry to be completely oblivious and blind that somebody recruited them to join their company, that's why they're at where they're at, but they have an issue when other loan officers are recruiting other loan officers to join their brokerage, that's just kind of wild. At the end of the day, whether it's a mortgage brokerage or real estate brokerage, they only grow when they recruit. But, you know, for some loan officers to just kind of point the finger and say, oh, all they do is recruit, well, that's kind of stupid, quite honestly. The thing, though, that these loan officers are missing out because they have such a short-sighted vision, right, and closed-mindedness to RevShare, to recruiting, is that they're missing out on being able to get paid an income, on being rewarded to grow the company. And that's the basis of RevShare. You are bringing on other loan officers, and if you help them to be successful, their success is your success. You are going to be rewarded, right? If you help them to level up their business, to do high amounts of production. And so by helping each other to help other people, it will also help you in the end, right? And the company. And so everybody wins. That is how RevShare works. Now, something interesting about the whole NEXA is a recruiting company, right, thing that I found pretty interesting when I first joined NEXA, right? And I was asking, I was talking to the CEO about it, and even other Nexans, right? They're like, oh yeah, well, you know, NEXA doesn't want to be looked at as just a recruiting company, right? But in my short time here, that kind of script has changed quite a lot, right? I mean, obviously, there is no mandate, there is no requirement that Nexans need to recruit. It's optional, but they have now tied it to NEXA 100. So in order for you to qualify for NEXA 100, you have to participate in recruiting, right? So that is the carrot, that is the incentive. And the way it works is that for every year that you're here with NEXA, in order to qualify for NEXA 100, you must recruit a brand new LO to join you in NEXA. Kind of interesting, right? How they went from, well, we don't want to be known as a recruiting company, but now it's kind of like, well, if you want NEXA 100, you got to go recruit. If you want more insight on how the RevShare works, check out my BDM video. I do have a little RevShare breakdown in there as well. So it gives you the full details on how that works and how you can get compensated and what the potential earnings are. So to wrap it up, you know, how's the company been for me at my 1.5 years here? So far, I would say overall, pretty good experience. Of course, there are things that could always be better, such as payroll. I mean, I think just coming from the agent side of things, especially at EXP, payroll is freaking amazing and freaking fast at EXP. Super simple process. We can get paid within hours of our closing, same day. So I'm probably just spoiled because I come from that world. On the lending side, it can be complicated, right? Depending if you're doing non-del loan or you're doing brokered loan, even HELOCs, right? They have a different process. So there is more work involved on the loan officer side for payroll. I would love it if it'd be as easy eventually one day as the agent side. That'd be amazing. Even with that said though, from what I've heard, I mean, I haven't been a loan officer that long, but other companies, I'm told, they only pay certain days of the month, and that just sounds ridiculous. Like, why would you only get paid certain days of the month? So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day though, there are certain things. Communication at the company, it can be a little bit better, I think, just for more formality, corporate wise communication. So yeah, I mean, there are some good things, there are some bad things, but I think at the end of the day, you know, there is no perfect company. You got to pick the one that works best for your business and can support it and can grow it, and you just run with it. At the end of the day, you got to be willing to do the work. You got to go learn how to fish. And if the brokerage is giving you the tools and the support to do everything that you should be able to do, but you're not doing it yourself, it's on you. And just to finish up, I mean, there are some really cool perks that I have not even got a chance to use yet, like all those vacation rentals that Mike Kors has. As long as you close a deal, you get one night per room, so per loan that you close. So those are pretty cool. He's got some places in Sedona, in Yellowstone, a San Antonio penthouse, and more being added. I think there's even a yacht. Super cool stuff to take advantage of. And of course, Mike also owns some jets, so private jets that you could potentially catch a ride on, depending if you meet certain production. Okay, so that's it for this video. This has been my honest take and review of NEXA so far. And, you know, let me know what you think in the comments, if you think I'm full of it, or if, you know, it is actually somewhat relatable to what you're doing, right? I'd love to hear. If you can do me a huge favor, if you did get some value out of this video, please help me hit that like button, drop a comment, or even share it so that other people can see it. I will catch you in the next video. Peace.